Dopamine. Dopamine now. Can you feel it now? Check it. Dopamine.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to DTR. Tonight we are here for the penultimate race of Season 14 in Division 1. We are here at Qatar. I am your lead commentator, D Summers 90. I hope everyone is doing well. This is the race where it is going to be decided who has fully won the season, I believe. The only contenders, I believe, are Miyagi and Grelis. Let us go and have a look at the drivers' standings. So as we can see, Grelis is in first place on a 189. He needs to win this race, or I believe it's score 5th or better, and he should have the championship. But we will discuss that more next week. We also have Miyagi, who is his closest rival, followed very closely by Benny, the man who we are currently on board with, on 143 and 142, respectively. So, Benny or Miyagi need to win with Grelis not scoring. It's unlikely, but it could happen. But let's have a look at what is going on track. Who is the first driver round? It is Benny. So for now, we will go on board with the McLaren driver as he sets his first flying lap. I have been told by Guna that he is going to be on pole this evening. He hates Qatar as a track. He likes to get lost. But he said he's going to be on Pole City all night tonight. So we will see what the Ferrari can do at some point. Benny is being very clean through Sector 1 as it stands. A double right-hander. Very awkward one to get perfect. Now through the hairpin. Oh, slide out of the hairpin. Down to 4th into the right-hander. Back up through the gears. Cut the corner on the right. He doesn't invalidate. That's good. Oh. Okay, that is a kick Sauber, one of the reserve pair. Oh. Oh, Benny was cutting it close there. Very well handled through the fast right-handers. Comes round the final corner. What is this first flying lap time going to be? Sets the standard at a 22.0. I am glad that he is not in Division 2. Stuart has done a 22.9. That is more along my speed. We have a Alpine starting a lap. We also have the other McLaren of Bogorovsky coming across the line. 23.0. We have Masked Ranger coming across the line. Up to P1. 21.996. He is going to be a contender yet again. Okay, so Miyagi has just started. Oh, he's actually just finishing his lap. I apologise. Goes up to P3 with a 22.2. Then we have a whole parade of people coming across. We will see what's going on there. Okay, so it seems Guna had missed his, or invalidated his lap, should I say. Okay, so we've got Connor, who's come across on a 23.1, Andre on a 23.3, and Pombeer on a 23.2, and is now getting out of the way of the cars behind. Who is going to be the next one across the line? I believe it's going to be Mirror, who is going to finish their lap first. There we go. Mirror goes pole with a 21.7. So let's go on board with the man who said he's going to be on pole tonight. Let's see what he is currently doing out on track. Grelis goes pole with a 21.348. He is not going to give up this championship. Anytime he can rub someone's face in the fact that he's winning, he will do. But just by the numbers. Guna goes P6 with a 22.4. Giannis comes across the line, 23.3. Connor's going again? He's still out on these same tyres by the look of it. We'll go on with the reserve Haas of Skipper, who is on his outlap. Oh, sorry, on his flying lap. Oh, a big slide out of the final corner there. Comes across 24.0. Why is Stewart fighting with Skipper? I wonder. So we now have Kavolis and Moncho have come out for their first runs. And first time in a long time, Benny Buno has joined us in the Mercedes. Miyagi is back on an outlap. Yep. Bombier's going for a faster lap. Let's see if he can do it. There we go. A 22.770. Not bad from the Kick Sauber driver. Moncho has now crossed the line to start his first flying lap. We will stick with Moncho and see what he can do. It does seem that there is quite a large delta between the front of the pack and the back of the pack, with that delta currently being 2.7 seconds or thereabouts. But then again, Grelis is a strange creature. At certain tracks, he's just too quick to keep up with. Where is this going to put Moncho? He has now gone past the McLaren pair, who are back out on outlaps. If they're not careful, they will have to get out of the way of Kavolis as well. Moncho comes round the final corner, puts his foot down, and it's not good enough. He doesn't like it. So he comes back into the pits. We will go on with Kavolis as he comes through the final corner now. See where he can put his Williams. And he goes up to 5th with a 22.2 dead. Got a nice shot of both of the McLarens going round. Bogorovsky and Benny running in the same air. I wonder if this is going to unsettle Bogorovsky or not. Because yes, getting a toe through a straight is brilliant. But getting it through the corners is detrimental to your turn-in and your overall pace. So we'll have to see whether Dutchman can put his McLaren. Although now Benny has crept away through the middle sector. I wonder if one of them was giving the other a toe. And there we go. Bogorovsky has invalidated through the right-handers. So I believe he gave Benny a toe down the start-finish straight to start his lap. There we go, 21.358, only 100th away from Grellis's time there. Let's see, who will be the next across the line? Grellis comes into the pits. Stewart has started his lap. There is a Red Bull, both Red Bulls on out laps. NLD Rush is currently on a lap. So is Tom Putty, who is further ahead. But then there is Miyagi, who's coming into the pits now. So we have Tom Putty will be the next man to set a fast lap. Let's see what he can do. And he can go wide and not invalidate, so he must have lost time there. That's unfortunate for the Mercedes. Oh, it looked like there was an incident there. Yep. Mirror stopped on track and crashed. Got in the way of Bogorovsky. Bogorovsky went straight into the back of him. That has given Mirror a 5 grid place drop. Dear oh dear, what are people doing? Let's have a look at Grellis as he comes across the line now. A 20.9 he is showing off now. Where does Guna put himself? He goes back up to 6th with a 22.0. Was Tom Putty able to continue for another lap, or did he have enough battery left? Nope. Straight into the pits. Go on board with Havoc Connor, who has invalidated his lap. That is unfortunate. Both Saubers have kicked themselves by invalidating their laps. I wonder, is Stewart on a lap? Stewart being followed by Giannis quite closely. Is Stewart going to dive into the pits here? Nope, he is completing his lap. So he was 10 seconds slower, and Giannis was not happy with his lap. Now we've got Skipper coming through the final corner now. Let's see where he can put this. No, he's not completing that lap. D-Rush has retired from the session and done so on track, as you can see on the mini-map down there. In the middle of Sector 2. So I don't know what's happened there. We will, however, go on board with Andre because he is a man on a mission to score points, and as many points as possible in both Tier 1 and Division 1 and Division 2. Currently 2 temps up on his previous time. I will say, I'm not a big fan of the Qatar circuit myself. Mainly because I'm slow. But it is good fun to watch. Especially IRL. as Andre comes round the final corner now. Let's see where he can put himself, if he has improved. And he jumps up to 12th with a 22.8. He was up almost 6/10 on his previous time. And now his compatriot Mirror is out in Sector 1. Let me just have a quick sip of my drink. Takes the hairpin very cleanly. Now that's an awkward right-hander. Very strange braking zone for that one, in my mind. Or very close to the back of the RB there. And I don't know which RB that was. Was that... That was Miyagi. Why does it say Mirror is on an outlap now? It said a minute ago that he was on a fast lap. Which he still is. The game likes to play with us. And there is a 2/10 improvement up to 21.5. Puts him in third and keeps him there. Skipper has now started his flying lap, but I believe Pombeer is the next man to set a fast lap. Andre has retired in the pits. He's done with qualifying. Doesn't think he can go faster. Pombeer sets a purple Sector 1. I do like this winding section, especially in the race. If we get that distant camera, you see the cars come in, go off, come in, go off, come in again. It's a very nice camera to watch, especially when the cars are quite close to each other. Now he's coming round the penultimate corner. Let's see. Get the braking right, get your foot on the throttle. Good corner for Pombeer. And he overtakes his teammate with an improvement to a 122.5. So that is Mirror coming in. We've got Skipper. Does not improve. We will watch. Miyagi comes across the line, goes up to P3 with 21.4. We now have Benny has invalidated, and I believe Masked Ranger just did not want to finish it. Who is next? We have Benny Buno. Goes up to P11 with a 22.6. Bogrovsky up to 12th. Giannis up to 6th. Kavolis puts himself up into P5. Where is Guna going to put? Is he going to put it on pole? We can all shout at him if he doesn't. And he doesn't. It's P5, 21.9. So the only man to cross the line now will be Pombeer. And he goes into the pits. So there you have it, folks. That is your qualifying grid for the Qatar Grand Prix in DTR. And yet again, Moncho, the only man to not set a time in qualifying. So, that is a brilliant pole time from Grellis. He is about 4 tenths ahead of Benny when it comes to crossing the line in qualifying. So here we go. We have got Grelis, then Benny, Miyagi, then Mira, but Mira has a 5-place grid penalty, so he will drop down to 9th. Guna will be in 4th, Kavolis in 5th, Mars Ranger in 6th, Giannis in 7th, Havoc Connor in 8th, Stuart in 9th. Well, actually, no, Stuart will stay where he is. He will be 10th. And that will be your top 10. Bogorovsky has also got a 5-place grid penalty, so he is going to drop, well, to the back of the grid. He's going to drop behind Moncho due to the collision that he had with who was it? Was it Mirror? Yeah. So 2 cars have got a 5-place grid penalty at the start of this race. Now, this track is extremely tough on the tyres, especially the left-hand side of the tyres. Some drivers might push a one-stop, but it's on the safe side. You would likely do a 2-stop for this race. And whatever you do, do not run the softs during the race, because you will last 3 laps before they go off. So while we're waiting for the drivers to start the formation lap, please remember there is a link download to the Discord if you wish to join DTR for racing, commentary, being an F1 steward, or just being a part of the community. Please join the Discord down below. So, as I said, this is the penultimate race of the season. We will have Abu Dhabi as the final next week. And then we go on to season 15. Oh, there we go. So, let us have a quick look at what tyres people are going for. Grelis is going against his own rules and starting on the hards. The majority of the field are starting on the mediums, but Grelis, Kavolis, Pombir, D-Rush, Skipper and Tom Putty are all starting on the harder compound for the start of this race. I've just noticed there is a very big gap back to Bogorovsky. He is going to let everyone in front of him get away, let their tyres cool down. It's the benefit of being at the back. You can offset your opponent's tyre temperatures by taking your time to get to the line. Oh, and Benny Buno and D-Rush have come together and sit on the grid. So they're going to have cold tyres either way. Grelis lines up on his grid box. So we will go on board with Miyagi for the first 200 to 300 meters on the run down to turn 1, as we are now waiting for Bogorovsky to line up in his grid box. It's good. Everyone apart from the two who had a collision lined up perfectly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go. A bit of a delayed start for Miyagi getting off the line. He's already been overtaken by Guna. Look at the Ferrari go. He is absolutely flying out of the blocks. Oh, there's changes going on everywhere. Let's see what the position changes are at this moment in time. Stewart is up 3 positions. Giannis is up 1. Oh, Stewart and Giannis are having a go at each other. Oh, there's an Alpine very wide. This is the camera that I do like, though. Okay, have things calmed down a little bit. We've got Benny and Guna very close to each other out of the fast right-handers. Guna is showing some good pace considering he hasn't raced since mid-December, I believe it was the last time he decided to race with us. So, being in P3 at the start of the race, not a bad situation for the Ferrari man. Let's get rid of the position changes so I can see positions change as they do. Havoc Connor is doing well to hold on to P9 at the moment and stay with Masked Ranger. Giannis has to concede the position as Stewart goes up the inside of the double right-hander. There goes a bit of end plate from, I believe that was Miyagi's end plate ahead. Yes, it was. He's missing his left end plate. The cars are all very, very close together. There is a gap back to Miyagi, but I think that's only happened since he got that damage. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. And there goes Kavolis past Miyagi now. He is going to look to close that gap. Havoc Connor gets the first 3-second penalty of the night on lap 2. Miyagi is really struggling with this broken wing up here now. Masked Ranger's poking his nose in. And so is Stewart. Oh, and he's taken out his own teammate. No! That is not what you wanted to do, Miyagi. Oh, dear. Miyagi cut across to go into the pits, and he took his own teammate with him. Oh, the Greek connection is not working down at Racing Bulls. Benny Buno making up positions now. He is now up to P6. Got himself past Masked Ranger and Havoc Connor, it would seem. He's now on a charge to chase down Stewart ahead. Meanwhile, the front three are just flying at the moment. Benny has overtaken Grelis, likely done under the DRS. Oh, excuse me. Now, all Guna needs to do is stay with these two, stay in the DRS and keep pace. And Tom Putty has gone wide in the fast right-handers, the triple right-hander. Benny has set the fastest lap at 25.056. Hello again, Lulu. Benny really wants to get this championship out of Grelis' hands. It's going to be difficult because I believe it's Oh, it's what, 47 points between the two of them. And if things stay as they are right now and Grelis finishes the race, I believe he is mathematically the champion tonight with a race to go. It just means that he'll have to put on a custom helmet next week and colour it gold. So let's see what Havoc Connor is currently doing. He is being chased down by Mirror in the Alpine and has a 3-second time penalty, which he got on lap 2. Tom Putty is the second man to get a 3-second time penalty for track limits. There is a big train behind Stewart now. Is Stewart doing this to help Kavolis, or is it just that he's like me and not very good at this track? There goes Benny Buno up the inside of Stewart, but Stewart defends well. Doesn't exactly close the door, leaves a gap, but manages to stay in front. Let's see. Skipper is on the back of Giannis, even though Giannis had that massive spin thanks to his teammate. Havoc Connor, a second set of 3-second penalty for the young Yorkshireman. I say young, he will be pleased with that. So the front three are starting to spread out a little now. Guna has dropped out of the DRS of the front two. This might end up being a straight fight between Benny and Grelis to the line. But we've got Benny Buno on the tail of Stewart, and Stewart has got himself a 3-second time penalty as well now. Mars Ranger is putting pressure on Benny Buno ahead of him. Will he be able to make a move? Benny Buno also has the DRS. Oh, very calmly done. He cuts across twice. But it's a good thing that Mars Ranger was not alongside him when that happened. Otherwise, we would have had a Miyagi Giannis-esque ending to that. If these two continue to fight, they will lose their DRS benefit over Stewart. NLD Rush is now catching up to the back of Havoc Connor. Will he be able to get the soon-to-be Audi F1 car past the Red Bull? These are the two that are the closest together at the moment, so we will stay with them as it stands. Although Moncho is catching up to the back of D-Rush now, and Pombeer is catching up to the back of Moncho. Guna has come into the pits early. He's come off of the mediums and slapped on a set of hard tyres. This gives Kavolis P3 and Stewart P4, as Benny Buno had gone for a position there and couldn't get the move done. I do apologise for missing that. So this is how close the field has been. Guna pitted from P3. P3. He is now currently down in 16th out of 18. Let's hope for his sake that it's the right call. Now Mars Ranger is right on the back of Benny Buno as we come through Sector 2. Let's have a look at the group behind. Also, Havoc Connor also ended up being in the pits on lap 6 as well. These 5 are so close to each other. You can see it on the track there. They are right next to each other. Giannis is coming into the pits. Benny Buno finally gets the move done. He goes around the outside. Mira gets past Mars Ranger, and Moncho gets himself past D-Rush. Grellis and Benny just running away, almost 6 seconds ahead at this point. This is a cakewalk to them. Just stay on track, stay with each other, use the DRS to their advantage, conserve battery, conserve the tyres. Meanwhile, we've got Mira chasing down Stewart and Benny Buno. And as I say his name, he gets himself another 3-second time penalty. Stewart, what are you doing? You're better than that, Stewart. Come on. Meanwhile, Mars Ranger has dropped back a little bit, but not too much. He's still within the DRS. Probably just giving his tyres a bit of a breather as Mira spears off towards the wall to go into the pits. I wonder if that was contact between him and Stewart that caused that. Meanwhile, this man, Moncho, started P17 due to Bogorovsky having that 5 grid place penalty. He's now up in P6 and running smoothly. Of course, this will all change with the stops, as you can see. The only man to be ahead of one of the original tyre runners at the moment who has stopped is Guna. And he's currently on 2-lap-old hard tyres. And running relatively well. He is now waiting for other cars to pit ahead of him to give him fresh air to race in. Now the question is, when is Benny going to pit? Is Benny going to come in anytime soon? As we know, he is on the medium tyres compared to Grellis being on the hards. Benny does not want to lose too much time to Grellis. Now we've got Mars Ranger in the DRS wide open on Benny Buno, gets himself passed on the start-finish straight. That's really the only place you're going to see many overtakes on this track, unfortunately, due to the DRS. So we've got Andre in the pits now. There are considerable gaps building now. So Benny is currently P1 with Grellis in P2, Kavolis 6 seconds behind them in P3. 6 seconds behind him is Masked Ranger, closely followed by Benny Buno. Moncho is 2 seconds behind that, with NLD Rush being followed by his teammates 2 seconds behind him. Oh, there's a lot of gaps. It's going to be tough to keep an eye on who is closest at any given time. Because right now it's Pombeer on NLD Rush. But I'm not certain he is going to do anything rash as Grellis gets himself past Benny in the DRS zone. This is how they are able to pull such a large gap. Benny Buno now goes round the outside of Mars Ranger. Makes it nice and clean. Miyagi gets himself a 3-second time penalty. Mira also gets himself a 3-second time penalty. I wonder if Mira followed... Oh, he followed Stewart. That's what happened. He was in the dirty air of the Williams ahead. Pombeer still didn't make the move on NLD Rush. This is a little bit worrying for Benny. Grelis has now overtaken him and gapped him before the end of Sector 2. He's absolutely running away now. Grelis is going to try and make a big enough gap between him and Benny, because I believe Benny is going to be pitting this lap. Yep, there it is. Benny comes into the pits to put on new tyres. His tyres, as you saw as he locked up there, were absolutely awful. They were disgusting. Masked Ranger also comes into the pits. Moncho carries on those medium tyres. He's been on those since the start of the race. Miyagi gets himself another 3-second time penalty. So now Benny comes out ahead of Guna. So this is a straight race between the Ferrari and the McLaren. If they are smart and catch up to each other, they will help each other with DRS and not hinder each other through the corners to try and get ahead of Grelis before his pit stop. Well, for when he pits, should I say. Now this makes Tom Putty the closest driver to anyone at the moment, being right behind Mira and Stewart. Losing touch of them a little bit through the twisty section though. That's unfortunate for him. That also puts him back into the clutches of the fresh tyres of Masked Ranger as well. Benny Buno now comes into the pits. So we can see there are a few drivers out there who have not come into the pits yet. The only one of them who would really need to is Moncho. He will start hemorrhaging time if he does not come into the pits. Mira edging ever so closer to Stewart, but not able to make the move happen. Masked Ranger gets past Benny Buno as he comes out of the pits. Let us see where Benny is. Benny is on the back of Pombeer. Are the Sauber team going to hinder Benny in his pursuit of Grelis? That is another 3-second time penalty for Havoc Connor. I know personally that he's not very keen on Qatar. He likes to collect black and white flags around Qatar, but that's about it. Masked Ranger also gets himself on the, I'll say it outright, the shit list of the stewards with a 3-second time penalty. Now Benny is going to make the move. Moncho has now come into the pits. So we'll keep an eye on where he comes out after his pit stop. Remember, he started the race back in P17. And he's run 14 laps on the medium tyres. Now, is Benny going to make easy work of D-Rush, or is D-Rush going to hinder him? He's gone for the outside, and D-Rush breaks early. He knows it's not his fight. So now there is a 25-second gap. Let us have a look. Yep, a 25-second gap to Grelis, who is the leader at this moment in time. Oh, I've turned off interval because I'm a fool. So where did Moncho come out? Moncho came out in P13. So now he just has to work again to make a few overtakes to get himself into the points. And while we are here, Stuart gets a move done on Skipper. Coming out of the hairpin by the look of things. Benny Buno gets himself a 3-second time penalty. And now is a good time to have a look at the penalties. So, as I say that, Mars Ranger gets himself another one. Pombeer, Mirror, Benny Buno all on 3. Then we have Mars Ranger and Miyagi and Tom Putty on 6. Then we have Stuart on 9. Guna has just got himself a 3-second time penalty. And Havoc Connor on 12 seconds of penalties. We've got 14 laps of this race to go pretty much. As Grelis is now in Sector 3. He will have to come into pit sooner or later. And when he decides to, it's going to hinge. I can't speak right now. It is going to dictate how good the rest of his race goes. The longer he can stay on the hards, the faster his mediums will be able to go at the end in the final laps. His tyres will be younger. But if he pits earlier, he will be cutting off the gap at a certain point where he will still be ahead of Benny. So he needs to work out when he needs to come into the pits, as D-Rush has done so now. Mirror now setting the fastest time with a 1:24.865. Mirror and Stewart swapping positions on the start-finish straight, going around turn 1. Benny Buno and Mars Ranger chopping and changing, creating problems for each other. Bogorovsky gets himself past D-Rush as D-Rush comes out of the pits. Miyagi has now set the fastest lap at 24.792. So Grelis now has a 23-second lead. I'm on the wrong one. A 21-second lead now to Benny. So that is a pit stop, pretty much. As Kavolis has now come in. Is he going to come out behind Guna? I believe he will, you know. Yep, he's only just got into the box. Guna is now going to retake P3, the place he left behind when he came into the pits early. Mirror now overtakes Kavolis as well, along with his teammate Stewart. It looked like Moncho made the move on Giannis there. I'm not certain, but possibly. He is now in to the points from P17 on the grid, so not bad from him. Let's go to the closest little group here. So we've got Mirror, followed by Stewart, followed by Kavolis. All within a second of each other. I say that and Stewart drops out of the second. It's like he is listening. Doesn't want me to watch him, apparently. But Kavolis is absolutely flying right now. Grelis is into the pits. Tom Putty gets himself another 3-second time penalty. Is Benny going to come out ahead of Grellis? He does. But now Grellis is going to be on the medium tyres. It'll take him a lap to warm them up. And then he will start reeling in Benny. It is the alternative strategy. Stewart has let Kavolis go. He knows that he's on the faster tyre. But now Grellis has his work cut out. He's got 4.5 seconds to gain on the back of Benny. What Benny really wants is for Grellis to fight really hard and then get a puncture before the end and not cross the line. Moncho is being chased down by Mars Ranger and Giannis by the look of things. All while they are chasing down Benny Buno in the process. This is the worst camera for this sector. Please get rid of it, EA. Thank you very much. I am impressed with Guna, however. Taking near enough 2 months off and coming back, but I'm surprised he is going... To be fair, he did pit early onto the hards, so it makes sense for him to go for the 2-stop. It looks like everyone else might be going for the 1-stop, or at least attempting the 1-stop. So you never know. It might work out in Guna's favour. We will see. Grellis has set himself a purple Sector 1. We will stay on board with him and see if he can do the same for Sector 2 and 3. And after this, we will go on board with the closer battles. There we go, purple Sector 2. Is he going to take fastest lap? Comes around the penultimate corner. And you can see Benny on the camera there. He's not too far ahead. Grellis might have played a blinder with his strategy, and there it is, a 123.1. As we've got Guna spinning in the hairpin. That releases Miyagi and Havoc Connor. That's unfortunate for the Ferrari driver. He should have stuck for the 1-stop. As Stewart now comes into the pits on lap 20. Well, actually, for him, it will be lap 19. No, yeah, lap 20. So we are now looking at the hard-running drivers coming into the pits, taking off the hard tyres. Of course, most of the hard-running drivers had started on the tyre initially. So as you can see, Pombeer, D-Rush, Stewart, Skipper all started on the hard tyre, along with Kavolis and Grellis. But it looks like a couple of drivers have misjudged this for their strategy. A 1-stop can be done, but you will be slower due to it. Although you will still be roughly 20 seconds ahead of the cars behind. As we can pretty much see with the likes of Havoc Connor and Guna at the back, there is a 15-second gap between Havoc Connor and Tom Putty right now. So the field has spread significantly. as Andre has now come in to take off the hard tyres. But she's only had on for 11 laps. He's going medium hard. Strange, okay. Now Grellis is right on the back of Benny. This is for all the marbles in Grellis's case. If he wins here tonight, he will, I believe, mathematically be out of reach for next week. So he could take the week off. But we know what Grellis is like. He will be here next week just to make sure that no one else can take the top spot during the race. Grellis has his DRS wide open, right up behind Benny, makes the move on the inside. Does have to contend with Guna, who gets well out of the way on the blue flags. I do feel sorry for Guna. He's been away for pretty much a month at this point, away from the racing. And he's come back tonight. He was doing really well. And then there was an incident that absolutely screwed the pooch for him. Oh my word, Mirror, have you gone on to softs? You absolute crazy hooligan. He is going 7 laps on soft tyres. Mirror, softs will not last here. You saw how the mediums were as Stewart sweeps round the outside of him. Oh dear, Mirror. So Pombe is now chasing down Bogarovsky as Stewart gets himself another 3-second time penalty. Getting difficult to breathe through my nose. Will Pombe be able to catch up to the back of Bogarovsky and make the move in the DRS? I am surprised, though, that there have not been any VSCs at this moment in time, considering last week out in Vegas, where after, I think it was, lap 3, we had a full safety car. I am pleased to say Division 1 have done well not to get a safety car here, even with the incidents that have happened. Is Pombe going to have the top line speed to get himself past Bogarovsky here? He does. He's got the move done and dusted. Good move from the Kick Sauber driver. But now he's got a long 6 seconds to the car ahead of him. D-Rush is going to look to do the exact same to the Racing Bull ahead of him. Although the Racing Bull is catching up to Bogarovsky through the middle sector. Guna gets himself another 3-second time penalty. Bogarovsky is currently in somewhat of a good situation. He has drivers ahead of him and behind him on penalties. At this moment, he is just outside the penalty range of Masked Ranger, I believe. He's teetering on the edge. Let's have a look at our biggest winners and biggest losers at this moment in time. So, Grellis and Benny stay where they are. Cavolis has gone up 2. Moncho is up 13 positions. Mirror gets himself fastest lap at 22.9. Benny Bruno is up 7 positions. Pombe up 5. Barry Bogarovsky is up 11 positions from the start. Miyagi has dropped 5 due to that incident he had with his own teammate early on. Mirror has not lost or gained positions as it stands. D-Rush is up 3 positions and gets the final point at the moment, depending on penalties, of course. Stewart is down 1. Giannis is down 5. Mars Ranger is down 7. Skipper is up 1. Andre is down 1. Tom Putty has not moved. And that is a Miyagi backwards. Now, I was not fast enough to see it and get it on replay, unfortunately. So if you want to see it again, rewind when the video goes live and watch it again. Because all I saw was Miyagi facing sideways because I was looking at the numbers. Currently, our biggest loser is Guna, unfortunately. And our biggest winner is Moncho. Mirror is absolutely flying right now on those soft tyres, but they will die on him. He will not necessarily get to the end of the race at a good pace on these soft tyres. I will keep on with Mirror because he's coming up to the back of Bombay. Grelis is just about to start lap 26. There we go. As you can see on the track map, it's quite a big gap between Grelis and Benny, and then all the way back to Kavolis, and then all the way back to Moncho. Miyagi gets himself a 3-second time penalty. He must be absolutely livid right now with what's happened to him in this race. Mirror practically pushing Bombay through the final corner. Pops open the DRS, gets the move done so damn early. So the only two drivers who are close to each other are the reserving teammates of Skipper and Andre in the Haas team. Andre should have this done and dusted. There we go. So everyone has now spread out considerably. And Guna has been overtaken up to P10. He's been lapped by everyone up to P10, it would seem. It's unfortunate for the Ferrari driver. He was doing so well. Stewart gets himself another 3-second time penalty. Let's have a look at the penalties. Stewart also has other penalties, it would seem. A 10-second for contact, maybe? I believe Tom Putty is running a very fine line right now. If he gets too many track limit penalties, he will be disqualified from the race. As I say it, it happened. So there you go, folks. Get 30 seconds worth of track limit pens and you get disqualified from the race. Now we're going to give this man a little bit of appreciation here, as he is currently penaltyless, 9 seconds ahead of his closest rival at the moment, and just cruising. He's not even using the battery. He is recharging the battery. You can see that by the flashing lights. And he was recharging on that straight. So he's just showing off now. Also, a little bit of appreciation for Moncho in the Alpine. An absolutely monster first stint from the man has put him in P4 from P17. if he can take these tyres to the end and finish in this position, I think he should get driver of the day, in my honest opinion. If anyone is in the chat, please do give me your recommendations for driver of the day. But I do have to preface, it does mean people without penalties. Now, Bogorovsky is just keeping Stewart within arm's reach. Connor is now up to... what is that now, Con? 18 seconds? Okay, he's not the worst off. I believe Connor also went into the pits to get rid of his 10-second time penalty. Because... oh, maybe not. No, I am wrong. Sorry, I thought the car on the map was Connor. It is Grelis. I do apologise, Connor. That is my bad. Gunnar gets himself another 3-second time penalty. It's gone from being a brilliant day for the Ferrari to being a relatively average 2025 season day for the Ferrari. There goes Giannis on D-Rush. What a clean move. I think he was just waiting for the Sauber to not be able to braking time. Just give him a little bit of a scare. And he missed his braking. Oh, I do apologise, but Grelis has now finished. I'm sorry, Grelis. Grelis wins the race, and that makes him champion, I do believe. Benny finishes in P2. Kavolis comes around the final corner to finish P3. Good race from Kavolis. A quiet one from him, but he did well to get where he got to. Moncho, P4. What a drive from the Alpine. Benny Buno on his return, P5. Mirror, P6. Pombeer with penalties comes in P7, but he's going to be overtaken by Bog. Bogorovsky finishes P7. Pombeer, P8. Giannis, P9. D-Rush gets the final point in P10. Stewart dropped all the way back to P11, but has been overtaken by Andre and Master Ranger, who, out of frustration, put his car in a wall, as you can quite clearly see. So, that is your Division 1 DTR Season 14 Round 11 Qatar GP done. Well done to Grelis, Benny and Kavolis. The likely trio up on the podium. Unfortunate for Gunnar. Well done to Moncho as well. For look at that. There it is. The Alpines have taken over. So, your race winner, Grelis. Great race from the man. He had the strategy down and just took off. Mirror with the fastest lap. Moncho with driver of the day, most overtakes and the cleanest driver. We love to see it. Great job, Moncho. Well done. So, there is your finishing order. We will finish off the remaining finishers. Skipper was in 13th. Stewart dropped to 14th. Miyagi in 15th. Connor in 16th. Gunnar in 17th. And Tom Putty did not finish due to a disqualification for penalties. So let us go over to the end screen. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for chatting in the chat if you were. We will be back for more DTR action with Division 2 tomorrow night. Grellis will be your commentator, and it will be Qatar. I will be taking part. I have to try and win if I can. Unlikely, it is Qatar. But next week, it will be the Season 14 finale for Division 1 and Division 2. We will be here Wednesday, 8 p.m. GMT, and Thursday, 8 p.m. GMT. I will see you next week. Hope you all have a wonderful evening. Good night.